They say Australia has some of the most dangerous animals in the world. Snakes that can kill with a drop of venom, crocodiles that can crush bone, spiders that hide in your shoes, but none of them compare to what used to live there. Because long before humans built cities or farms, Australia was home to something far deadlier, a lizard so large, so powerful, that it could kill almost anything that crossed its path. Its name was Megalania. Megalania was not a myth or exaggeration. It was real. And it was the largest land lizard that ever lived. At full size, it could stretch over 20 feet from head to tail and weigh more than a small car. To put that in perspective, that's almost twice the size of the biggest Komodo dragon alive today. But while Komodo dragons hunt deer and pigs, Megalania could hunt early humans. This was a predator built for dominance, thick limbs, heavy scales, and claws designed to tear through flesh. Its skull was wide and flat, filled with sharp serrated teeth that worked like steak knives, and its tongue flicked constantly to taste the air, searching for the scent of prey. When Megalania walked, it didn't crawl close to the ground like a crocodile. It lifted its body high, its head level with the chest of a human adult. That meant it could move fast, strike hard, and see far across the dry Australian plains. Scientists believe Megalania was closely related to the Komodo dragon, sharing the same lineage of giant monitor lizards. But while Komodo dragons live on small islands, Megalania ruled an entire continent. Its territory stretched across Ice Age Australia, from open woodlands to grasslands. And it shared this world with other massive creatures known as the megafauna. There were giant kangaroos taller than men, wombats the size of cars, and massive flightless birds like Genornis. For Megalania, it was a buffet of slow, heavy prey. But how did this monster hunt, unlike cats or wolves? Megalania wasn't built for long chases. It was an ambush hunter. Its camouflage allowed it to blend into the dry earth and vegetation. It would lie in wait near a watering hole or game trail, motionless, for hours. And when an unsuspecting animal came close, the attack was explosive. It would lunge forward with shocking speed, claws digging into the ground, jaws snapping shut with incredible power. One bite was usually enough. You see, Megalania didn't just rely on muscle. It had another deadly weapon hidden inside its mouth: venom. Modern Komodo dragons carry venom glands that inject toxins into their prey. These toxins cause massive blood loss, drop in blood pressure, and prevent clotting, leading to shock and death. And evidence suggests Megalania had the same ability. That means its bite didn't just wound, it killed slowly and inevitably. Even a single bite could doom an animal too large to drag away immediately. This mix of stealth, venom, and strength made Megalania one of the most efficient predators of the Pleistocene. But there's another twist to its story, one that makes it even more terrifying. Megalania may have encountered humans. The timing is close. Fossils of Megalania date to around 50,000 years ago, which overlaps with the arrival of the first Aboriginal Australians. These early humans would have walked the same dry riverbeds and forests where Megalania hunted. There are even ancient rock paintings that show giant reptiles resembling enormous monitors. Some anthropologists think they might depict Megalania, or memories of it passed down through oral traditions. In Aboriginal stories, there are tales of huge man-eating lizards, creatures called whowhs or goannas that could swallow people whole. It's possible that for a time, humans and Megalania coexisted and feared each other. Imagine early hunters moving through tall grass, unaware that something massive was watching them, tasting their scent, waiting for the right moment to strike. But humans are persistent, clever, and adaptable, and in the end, it wasn't the claws or teeth of Megalania that changed history. It was fire and strategy. Archaeological evidence suggests early Australians used fire to clear land and control animals. Controlled burns would have destroyed hiding spots and hunting grounds for predators. Over time, that, along with hunting and climate change, reduced Megalania's food supply. As the Ice Age ended and the climate warmed, many of the large animals Megalania depended on began to disappear without enough prey. Even a predator this powerful couldn't survive. Slowly, it vanished. The last Megalania probably died out around 40,000 years ago, but its legend lingered. For centuries, explorers and settlers in Australia told stories of giant lizards still lurking in remote areas. Even today, there are occasional reports of enormous monitors seen in the outback, though no evidence has ever confirmed that Megalania still exists. If it did, it would be one of the most dangerous animals on the planet. To understand why, you only have to look at how its modern relatives hunt. The Komodo dragon, smaller but still deadly, attacks deer and water buffalo. It doesn't need to chase. One bite delivers venom and bacteria that weaken the prey over hours or days. Then, the dragon follows until the victim collapses. Now scale that up to a creature 20 feet long, capable of outrunning a human, with venom potent enough to drop a horse. Megalania was the ultimate land predator of its age. What makes it even more fascinating is how recent it was. We're not talking about something that lived 200 million years ago. It was alive when humans had already begun spreading across the globe, while mammoths and saber-toothed cats ruled the north. Megalania ruled the south. Its extinction left a gap in the ecosystem that no predator has filled since. Modern Australia's top carnivores are dingoes and saltwater crocodiles. But even they don't compare to the dominance Megalania once had on land. Scientists still debate exactly how big it grew. Some estimates, based on fossilized vertebrae, suggest lengths of up to 23 feet. Others argue it was closer to 15 feet. Even the smallest estimates make it the largest terrestrial lizard known. Its closest living relative, the Komodo dragon, reaches around 10 feet and 150 kilograms. Megalania may have weighed over half a ton. Fossil remains are rare, but what we have paints a clear picture of a muscular animal built for power, not speed. Its ribcage was wide, its limbs thick, and its tail long and strong for balance. Its scales likely had bony deposits called osteoderms, adding natural armor. The head was wedge-shaped, perfect for delivering deep bites. And like other monitors, it probably had a forked tongue to detect chemical cues, allowing it to sense prey from miles away. Megalania's reign may have lasted for millions of years, stretching from the early to late Pleistocene. It thrived in a world that was harsh and unpredictable, filled with giants and shaped by fire. But when humans arrived, everything began to change. They hunted, burned, and spread fast. Within a few thousand years, most of Australia's megafauna were gone. The giant kangaroos, marsupial lions, and the great flightless birds. And Megalania disappeared with them. Some researchers suggest that climate change alone might have been enough, but human expansion was likely the final blow. Every large predator needs a steady food source, and once the big herbivores vanished, Megalania had nothing left to hunt. In the end, intelligence outlasted brute strength. Still, Megalania's story reminds us how recently true monsters walked the earth. It lived in a world where early humans weren't at the top of the food chain. For them, survival meant always watching the shadows, always listening for the sound of scales moving through dry grass. When we look at the bones of Megalania today, we're not just studying a lizard, we are looking at one of the last echoes of a time when reptiles ruled not just the seas, but the land itself. It was the perfect predator for its time, the apex hunter of the Ice Age continent, and one of evolution's most fearsome creations. And though it vanished thousands of years ago, its legacy lives on in its smaller descendants. The Komodo dragons that still roam the islands of Indonesia, every time one of them flicks its tongue or drags down a water buffalo, it's carrying a piece of Megalania's ancient power, proof that the age of giant reptiles never truly ended. It just changed shape.